Hey, welcome to the David Elstein podcast. I'm really excited about current guest, my friend Casey Nifong, who is the founder of Mountain Laurel Digital. So, welcome to the podcast, Casey.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, the first question I'm going to ask: so, what is Mountain Laurel Digital, and how did you even come up with that name?
Yeah, it's a digital marketing agency. We started as an primarily SEO firm. And a lot of it stemmed from I've worked at only agencies, I've worked at three agencies, and we moved to Asheville after living in the Triangle for many years. Mostly for my husband's job, but when we moved there, it was like, what am I going to do now? So I started freelancing SEO. I've been doing SEO for about 15 years. And SEO has evolved, the demand has grown, and I still love it, so there's that. But so Mountain Laurel was started really as my freelance brand, and then it evolved into a full service agency, and we're going to be 9 this year, which is crazy. And the name comes from Mountain Laurel, which is a native plant to the western part of the state of North Carolina. So I think rhododendron, but the sister to rhododendron, it has
Okay.
like a smaller flower and all that. You see it a lot, but a lot of times people think they're looking at rhododendron. So I love the name because we really wanted something that was local to the western part of the state because that's a big part of our portfolio. And then also we have a big heart for sustainability and working with natural products. And so it leaned into, the native nature and yeah, that's where the name came from.
Okay, no, that's great. And you sort of hinted on it, but I mean, you're talking about you worked in some other agencies, but I mean, for me, you're still young, but I mean, you started it really at a young age. Was that really nervous about what do I even, getting myself into?
Yeah, I would say the biggest jump was not necessarily the agency portion of it, but more the business side.
Hmm.
I'm really lucky that my husband has a business background, and so I learned a lot from him in those
Okay.
first few months of I had to get a DBA to begin with because I had a different name. I think it was like CN Consulting. I didn't know what a DBA was.
Exactly. Yeah.
I had to,
You're really a
file.
business 101.
Yeah, exactly. Like the taxes piece of it. A lot of it was like Dan kind of worked with me to help me understand the
Okay.
paperwork side of it. That was the newer part, like becoming LLC, S
Hmm.
Corp, all of that. And then I would say like a year in, we started outsourcing like to a bookkeeper. And then
Okay.
once a lot of those gaps were filled by people that know how to do that, the ownership of a business became a lot easier for me because I could
Okay.
focus on the services and things like that. So I would say like the first 2 years were probably the hardest.
Yeah. And that's probably two
Yeah.
long years. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. 2017 to 2019. And I also had my daughter in the middle of those first 2 years. So,
And it's good. 2020 was just a quiet year, so you were
yeah.
nothing more.
Yep. 1 year old and a young business in 2020.
Yeah.
It was something else.
So yeah, so COVID was the easiest part, I guess, for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, interesting enough, COVID was interesting from the lens of owning a digital first company,
Hmm.
because a lot of the businesses I had started talking to in 2018, 2019, I mean, the main thing that helped the business was networking, and I had networked a lot at previous agencies.
Okay.
I spoke at local events, I joined multiple boards. So the business development side that first year before having a baby helped a lot.
Right.
But it was a lot in the beverage space, and the beverage space was kind of freaking out in some places because they had focused so much on brick and mortar brand, and
Okay.
they were not really D2C facing, at least in my network. I know a lot of
I'll
D2C
say people are
companies
still
really.
drinking. They're stuck at
Yeah,
home, even probably
absolutely.
more.
Yeah. But they couldn't go to bars or
Right. Right.
restaurants.
Right.
The
Right.
hospitality world, which was my world, it still
Yeah.
is, was really wrecked during 2020. So a lot of businesses came to us trying to figure out like a digital solution. So it actually helped our business.
Okay.
It was kind of
Interesting.
interesting to navigate because I had never experienced managing brands in a crisis like that. So.
Sometimes you learn by doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I think most people just want a friend too. Like, you don't necessarily have to have all the answers, but a lot of the clients that we have came to us in 2018, and we definitely have a bond that's
Right.
different than some of our clients that we have after 2020.
No, and that's what I noticed too. Toward the other side, working with vendors. I mean, there are a lot of good vendors, no matter what space you're in, but you want that trust. You want someone, that you can work with everything else being equal. It's like, yes, someone I could talk to. I mean, on my first two episodes were vendors that worked for us that I've become friends with. And it's just because if you're spending that much time with someone, I mean, one of them is marketing firm. I'm sure you've done enough of the video shoots where you're twiddling your thumbs for a long time and waiting for the people to set up for the couple minute interview. So yeah, we talked about everything, just, waiting. And it's more pleasant when you have fun with the people that you can work with and do
Oh,
business with.
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I think people are always looking for connection. So when it's there organically, you're starting off pretty strong usually.
Yes. So the reason I actually was thinking about, talking with you, this is a subject that I know next to nothing about, but I want to learn more. So you talked about what did you say, 15 years with SEO, and now I know there's is it GEO or GEO, and I had to write this down, and AEO. So let's briefly. I mean, I think people know of SEO, but I think they still don't necessarily know what it is. Can you just go through briefly with all of those, and then
Yeah,
we'll go
it's funny.
detail
Now I
after?
have to talk about SEO as traditional SEO.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody's like, what's our traditional SEO strategy? And then what's our GEO strategy? And I think that AEO stands for answer engine optimization. So answer engine optimization is similar to GEO, but GEO is speaking to the type of engine, which is generative engine.
Okay.
And all of it is essentially like different environments that you're trying to optimize for a brand, at least in the role that I play. All of these topics, SEO, GEO, and AEO, and then getting into deeper like LLMs, large language,
Yep.
machine learning, all of that. It all has, different semantics and depending on what world you're talking in. So in my world with as a digital agency and as an SEO, our team is very focused on helping brands come up in Google AI, so AI overviews, which is considered generative optimization because it is
Okay.
generative answers within Google.
Okay.
But from an SEO perspective, it's search engines. So SEO is search engine
Yeah.
optimization. So what's happening is there's so many types of search engines now. And it's been years like that. It's actually not that new. It's just because of AI, like market share and interest from like an economics perspective the past 2 years. It's really peaked from like a brand budget perspective.
Right. Right.
But
So what other?
SEO,
Because you
yeah.
said there's a lot of search engines. We all think of Google, and if you look at the numbers, it's whatever a market share of 90. And my kids, I guess you call it, caught me on Bing one day, and they were making fun of me
Yeah.
for that. That's embarrassing. So I know that exists, but I mean, what you said, other search engines you
Well,
try
I
to.
mean, it depends on your audience. Like Pinterest is a search engine,
Oh, is it?
Reddit is a search engine.
Okay, some
Anything
things we
you
don't
can
think about.
search
Okay.
on, yeah, is a search engine. And I think Google does have the biggest market share, but what's populating into Google is other channels. So like if you look at Google results, you'll see Reddit
Yeah, I know
listings.
Reddit's
You'll
moved. Oh, yeah, yeah.
see Yeah, you'll see other sites. So now we have to start thinking about these other channels and how they work together because and then the other thing that's changing with GEO that's really fascinating to me is we're having to do prompt research and intent research. So like instead of what's traditional SEO is keyword research, like 2 or 3 words that people are searching on a regular basis, and how
Yeah.
do we target them, how do we rank for them. That's still very important, so I'm always like, we're still doing that. But now we also have to apply prompts research. So what are people searching in Chat GPT? So now Chat
Mm-hmm.
GPT is a search engine. So when
Yep.
people say GEO, they're mostly talking about Chat GPT and Gemini. So AI agents. So
Yep.
now it's about optimizing for search and AI agents versus just Google or traditional search engines.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bing still has certain demographics and certain like spaces. I still see
Old
Bing.
people, we could say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Yahoo's around too. I get. I mean, But but yeah, no, I guess the thing I remember years ago, I think I applied for a job and did like a test where you have to, back when search engine was, how many times can you say the right things on a
Yeah.
web page,
Mm-hmm.
which used to, I still see today. Dr. Smith is the best dentist in
Oh
North
yeah, it's
Raleigh.
definitely still out
North
there and
Raleigh is a
thriving.
place for dentists, and the part of me is almost seems like it's
It's kind of
embarrassing how it's not even
icky.
like subtle.
Yeah.
But I mean, is that still the thing? Writing the
It's still
correct
a
words
thing.
in there. I
I
know
pitch
before it was
against
like making
it.
sure people
Yeah.
linked to you. In the old school is when you would actually tell companies, "Hey, please link to me," and you either see a public list of all these links or who's in the code. But I guess it's
Yeah,
still
that's gone
linking
now.
is still an important part of it, and the keywords, or what does Google care about even?
Yeah. So the algorithm signals is essentially what I'm reading about every day. And algorithm signals, typically we hear chatter in the community. So most of what I learn is from other SEOs. I'm in like several different Slack channels,
Hmm.
and that's how I've learned and built my career is through community and experiments and tests with other people. And a lot of SEOs do have a terrible reputation. I constantly am getting on business development calls where people are very, very upset with their SEOs. Or they're just like, I just paid for this and I don't understand it and it's really weird and all my copy is weird. So I would say it's pretty old school. I recommend user experience. Like Google really, like the algorithms for Google are around context. It used to
Hmm.
be content is king. Now it's context is king. Like, how can you provide content that's answering the questions the best? And there was an
Okay.
algorithm that came out, I think it was in 2020. It was a while ago. 2016. Yeah, it was before I
Okay.
went freelance. It called Rank Brain, and Rank Brain was focused on intent. So a lot of the
Okay.
algorithm is now like feeding search results based on understanding the intent. So like if for instance, if someone's searching fine dining near me versus a fine dining in Wilmington
Hmm.
with a patio view or something, so their first intent is like I want to eat right now, transactional.
Uh huh.
Second intent, I'm planning. I need you to send me a list, right?
Okay.
So the algorithms are really around like the query itself and what's the intent, and that's what kind of drives what you should be doing on the website. But a lot of SEO is just keyword stuff, volume, and then what happens is the brands they get rankings, but they suffer because there's no strategy around what they're ranking for. So they're
Okay.
just getting calls and forums from just like random people that actually
Right.
don't really matter. You know
Right.
what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Quality, not
Yeah,
quantity. Really.
exactly. Yeah. So I guess the short answer is people are absolutely still doing all of that, like what used to be called black hat SEO. I haven't seen a lot of it, but I'll audit sites regularly and still find like really old school tactics. Like, oh my god, someone's still doing that. But
So is a lot of it kill two birds with one stone? If you get the old schoolish search engine optimization, it's going to help with the generative and with that stuff, or is it you have to have almost separate strategies because each the bot is going to look for something different than the SEOs versus GEO is a different things it's looking for. Is that I guess
I'm getting that question a lot.
okay?
I would say if you're doing SEO well, you should not need two strategies.
Okay.
Because generative engines and search engines have similar signals for their algorithm. What we found with generative engines is everything that works for traditional SEO also works for GEO. GEO, though, I've found as far as like managing and measuring success is a lot different because what you're measuring is mentions, so brand mentions in Chat GPT or AI agents. You're less managing keyword rankings because it's changed. It's personalized search. So it's very challenging to
Yeah.
track your actual presence, but there's so many new tools coming out. SMrush is my favorite right now. I don't promoting it at all, but I think
Right.
SMrush has a really good tool right now for what's called AI visibility. And we're using that right now for our clients to showcase like, okay, what we're measuring is your brand visibility in AI, which is very different of keyword rankings in SEO for search. The thing that we've seen work for GEO that I mean, it does work for SEO too, but it's not as much for GEO, is formatting the content. I don't know if you've seen this trend around TLDRs at the top of landing pages, where essentially it populates a key takeaways with bullet lists at the top of the page.
I've
Um,
seen it with like
we've
news articles or
So
whatever.
AI really favors that formatting. So what we've been doing with our clients is trying to find ways to reformat and restructure their content versus rewriting it, or like hurting the cadence of our traditional SEO. And we found that to work really well.
Interesting. Okay, no. I guess the other things you could tell me what's true and what's false. So, like with Chat GPT and some of the other models I've heard, they're looking at search engine results from the past and not current. So even so, information in general, so information might be old when you're just in a personal search you're searching for it. And is that true? Is then if that's true, then is that hard for your job? That even if you do something right now, it might not make help for another X amount of time. Is that
Um,
true, false? What are you
it
talking
does
about,
take
David?
some time. I would not be able to answer that without knowing the brand and the website's brand visibility
Right. But I guess
already.
my point is you could change the text on a web page and presumably Google is going to pick up on that. I don't know. It's instantly. I remember the old school spiders would crawl or whatever they would say.
No, that's still a
But
thing.
right.
Spiders are still real.
Okay. But
Yeah.
but but it's relatively quickly. But I guess my question is, you could theoretically see results the next day with
I
SEO,
haven't
but
seen
might
it.
not
Yeah.
with the others because it wouldn't reflect the changes you made to the website for like GEO. Is that
Yeah.
am I
Well, typically we
off?
are going after really competitive terms and
Okay.
competitive placement. Like our clients come to us with like a list of terms, and then we go in and talk about like, okay, this term we could probably get done in the next like month because
Okay.
of the competition. It doesn't have as much competition, but most of our clients have pretty big competitors that are going
Okay.
after the same placement. And because of the competition, it takes more time.
Okay.
Um,
Because I want to add more letters. So how does SEM get into so the when you're actually paying for it? Obviously, it's not free per se to do SEO, but I think some people think of that as the free
Oh
thing. But
yes,
both SEM when you're
those
physically
people.
paying. So yeah. So I mean, I guess is I assume that's still a big thing
Oh
you work
gosh,
with, and
yes,
then
that's a service we offer. So we
yeah.
manage SEM
I mean, that's
campaigns.
how Google got to be Google just by
Yeah,
doing these
it's
simple
not going anywhere
text
based off what
things
I
that it's like,
see.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. So
So can you
yeah,
pay for it? Because I know they're talking about right for with
it
OpenAI is
happened
talking
last
about
week. They announced
ads.
it. Yeah,
Okay,
they
yeah,
announced it. I haven't seen it yet though. Um, but yeah, I'm sure it's gonna happen any day.
because they need to make money.
Um, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure they're making money, but
Well, I mean, I think that
um,
some people worry. I mean, they're putting so much in,
yeah,
and when you have investors, they want to get some money out. Besides,
yeah.
people paying $20 a month, they want you know good money.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they do it. I'm sure there'll be text ads, like in the SERP, just like in Google. And I honestly don't think that would be that invasive, but we'll see how they do it. So for SEM, there's a lot more in regards to, I mean, that's very lead gen focused. So when we're managing paid ad campaigns, typically brands are coming to us because they want to grow quickly.
But don't
And
we
so,
all? It's like, yes. Can you help me double revenues overnight, please? I mean, it's like, yeah, no,
no, dude,
we'll take
the
our
amount of
time,
people
please.
that try to manage ROI weekly is absurd to me. I'm like, you cannot manage ROI after 3 days.
Right, exactly.
What? Yeah, I've had to put some hard boundaries on live sheets. Yeah, so I think with SEM, a lot of it goes back to targeting. There's so much you can do with Google around targeting that helps you be really efficient with your ad spend. And what I've learned about SEM over the years, because I managed SEM at the agencies I worked in the past,
Mhm.
but being an owner managing SEM is quite different because the clients are they're just more transparent with me because they're my relationships. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're
No,
more upfront with me around their world. Like I found
okay.
SEM to be really successful the more you utilize your world with how you're targeting. So a lot of clients come to us, knowing what they need to set up, but they don't know how. So that's why they hire us.
Okay.
And but we perform the best when we're like, okay, well, how is this product doing? What's most profitable? How is this territory doing from like
Hmm.
a home services perspective? How is this market playing?
Okay.
Those kind of things. And then getting all of that feedback real time while the campaign is live and being able to tweak it, like areas that you're targeting. There's less and less that you can target, which is kind of frustrating. Meta is actually really hard now to do SEM for because it's all generated with AI. So it used to be you could target a lot and customize your campaigns, which a lot of people are like, oh, it's so much easier now because it's auto generated. But actually, it's frustrating because you have less
No.
control.
I mean, I
Um,
remember doing that. God, once again, dating ourselves. So, 15 years ago with creating Facebook ads, and you really could like literally target. I remember the example I always use. We didn't do it for this. My employer was like, women who are 25 years old who like Katy Perry, like they literally like her
yeah, it
on
was
Facebook, like these
very
things. And at the
kind of
time, like, oh my
creepy.
god,
Yeah.
that is so amazing how much. And it's like, oh, you have no search. No one's really like that, David. But I mean, it was just amazing. Now it's
Yeah,
that's
it's all
cool
very
of
auto
laughing
generated.
now.
Yeah, which makes it harder when I'm talking to brands about like our value as an agency partner because they're like, "Well, if this is all auto generated, what are you
Right.
doing?" And it's like, "No, but if you go ahead, you try and see how your budget performs without a specialist managing the spend." But yeah, typically our team, we have three people on our paid ads team, and they're always looking at the daily spend. It's a very meticulous job. I have a huge respect for our digital
Oh, I'm
marketing
sure. Yeah.
director because like it looks easy, and sure it is, but it's hard to perform because it's just always evolving and changing, especially now.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
heard. But even, I mean, talking about keywords, just thinking off the top of my head, your local restaurant, Italian restaurant is, back to restaurant near me, Italian restaurant, spaghetti, and all these different things. And I think it's probably cool to, you'd see, oh, wow, spaghetti worked. Or whatever the thing is, just obviously simplifying it. And you could say, David, you don't know anything about this stuff. But it's sort of, it seems like not, there's almost infinite ways you can go with SEO, and there's not infinite
yeah,
money to go.
Yeah, SEO I think allows a lot more flexibility because like once you've figured out the formula, you can rank really well for the website and then you're not paying for that placement. It
Right.
also
Yeah. Yeah.
helps with your budget too. Once you rank number one, it helps kind of navigate your spend on SEM. I recommend SEM and SEO to everyone, like as a pair. That's how me and my marketing director, so she's like my SEM a
Okay.
partner in crime kind of vibe. Like when I did our early pitches together, she's been with me 6 years, so she was
Oh
my
wow.
first hire. And we were working. I was working with Biltmore Wine doing their SEO in 2018,
Okay.
and they were like, "We really need paid ads for our wine club," and I was like, "I don't do that." So I just asked around in the actual community, and Carolina had
Okay.
just moved there from Poland, and I had opened up a studio, and it was like a shared office space, and so
Okay.
she joined that and then she started working on Biltmore Wines with me, and that's history. Now she's been with me ever since.
Interesting.
But yeah.
So you sort of hit on it before about measurement tools, but I mean, for me, it's been around a while. SEO makes sense for conversions. You search for whatever you click on, whether it's SEM, SEO, the link. Oh, I like this. I'm going to buy it. Is there much conversion with OpenAI or any of the AI agents? Because I don't. I mean, I don't know how people search that way versus the others, but for me, it seems like not necessarily looking for a specific thing to buy, and I could be
So
completely
far,
wrong.
no. Yeah,
Okay.
no. We measure all of our clients through GTM event tracking, and we measure the channels, so organic, paid, AI tools. And so far, we've seen very little
Okay.
conversion rates through AI tools traffic. It's predominantly informational intent, but it's possible that will change. So it doesn't, to me, it doesn't mean that it's not a good focus. It
Right.
just may not be your number one conversion channel. I just think Google has got such a focus on transactions for their platform. People just they go there to make decisions, and
Yeah.
I don't think from what I've seen in our data and how I use AI, our team, how everybody I know that uses AI, they're not typically shopping. But I will say e-commerce will kind of determine where that heads,
Right.
because ChatGPT now has like product searches in
Okay.
AI mode. So if you're on Google on AI mode, there's a new update that happened last month. I can't think it off from the top of my head. I think it's like
Okay.
UPL, UPC. I can send it to you, but it's
Okay.
essentially like a new product algorithm. So
Okay.
e-commerce might change dramatically in the next year or
Okay.
so and change that data.
Okay.
But
I mean, for me personally, I love Perplexity. I mean, I haven't talked to
oh
many
yeah,
people
Perplexity is
who
great.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you're the first I mean, of course you know, but everyone's like, what are you talking about? Like, no, 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 you don't understand. It's like a search engine, and it's great with, identifying their sources and everything like
Yeah,
that. I'm
it's
like, oh, this
great.
is what I need. It's great.
They're just a small fry in a big pond. That's the
Yeah, when I saw
problem.
the numbers,
Yeah.
like, wait, where is it on the map here? And I was like, no, I mean,
It used to be in our numbers more, before Gemini came out.
Gemini has the the built-in help with being
I know.
Google, but I mean, no, no, no. I just like keep on. I people joke. I sometimes it's not. It's for real. I use Perplexity for sports betting, and it could
Oh,
go. Search really quickly, hear what the experts think. Would win, and it's not the same as like with Google searching. It's like, okay, if you want to be risky, you should bet on this team because they're saying this. I mean, yes, it's like anything. Take it with a many grains of salt, but I've it's not the reason it was created, but I sort of, like that concept and just also comparing it. Gemini I use, and ironically, I don't use Chat GPT much, but
yeah. I just started using ChatGPT a lot more recently. I think it's gotten a lot better, the updated version. At the beginning, I didn't like it very much. I used Cloud.
okay,
I know everybody says it differently, but my team really likes Cloud. So I'm testing that too.
okay, yeah, I'm sure what's good now in a year might be
I
something
don't know.
else. Oh, or something new. So
I
I
think
guess
it's going to be a game of integrations because, like Spotify or Shopify is integrating with ChatGPT.
which makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so I think like pretty much whoever has the most integrations is going to take it, the
Yes.
market share. So,
So I guess a couple of just things to wrap up. Sort of more about AI, but how is AI affecting you as a marketing professional? Not stuff we've talked about, but are you doing less writing or doing some sort of tasks that even a year ago you didn't think it would do?
yeah, it's very fascinating. I think that the biggest area I've seen the biggest change, because a lot of agencies were impacted last year, and we work for other agencies.
Okay.
The biggest area I saw seeing like the decreased demand was video. I think like a lot of that stems from just the amount of like less budget. But I don't know. I think that is going to have an interesting journey. I think we're going to start to see like the quality of video go down and ad campaign stuff go down. And I think it's going to turn around. I hope anyway, because the
Yeah. Now
stuff
the
that's being
videos.
churned out is pretty rough.
Yeah,
But
I watch things like at this point I can't tell. Not to get into politics, but like, did Trump actually say that? And I can go either way. Things
yeah,
where
that's fair.
and I have to, try to find a place else. Yes, that he really said that versus, it's any of these things in general where I hate
Yeah.
saying, I think of myself as an educated person. I can figure out what is true or not, but now it's anyone could do almost anything.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
and,
I
and
think
life
it
is so
goes.
unpredictable anyway that it can very well be true, these crazy things.
Yeah, so true. I mean, what I've seen is specialization is a big thing. Like, if at least for what we do
Hmm.
and what other agencies I've talked to, like having a specialization is more important than ever. Because I think that we were talking before, the trust and the
Right.
relationships is really what's keeping the business. And I think the piece that's being most impacted is budget, because people are seeing this opportunity to spend less, and do the same. So that's what I'm seeing the most. And so I'm trying to kind of like navigate people's perception of value with deliverables.
Right.
Um, so what I've done is trying to lean into performance, like, and measuring that performance, because I haven't seen that be able to be replaced, and that's something we're good at. So that's where I've leaned. I've been like kind of writing and analyzing the market for the past 2 years to
Hmm.
try and like, because I saw the writing on the wall like way earlier than now on the content
Right.
side, which is a big service of ours. So what we've done is accepted some of it, and tried to be a strategy partner for what is. So a lot of our clients still need content development, but they don't have a strategy, they don't have performance.
Okay.
So what we're doing, a lot of times we get like really cringe AI created content
Oh yeah.
and we'll make it much better and have it perform. So that keeps us busy on the content side. It really does. So what I've done is kind of like restructured that service as less of a writing service. And I'm sure a lot of writers are like, ew, that's terrible. But I mean, at least it's helping getting better production out there in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I was having a discussion just a month ago with friends. Like, everyone says that helps writing. Like, no, but I like writing. That's why I'm posting stuff on LinkedIn. No one's making me. I want to sit down and write it. But even just in the last few weeks at work using Copilot, hey,
Copilot's good.
hey, Copilot, what do you think of this email? Like, David, you're too mean on that. Or even this thing, because part of it's a
I have been using mine for email more. It's actually
yeah, and
nice.
just because there's always different tones. A certain group professional, certain times stern. I don't want.
Yeah.
Am I coming across passive aggressive, and and things like that? Which I'll still at least do a lot of it. But I think the one thing I was wondering for some of our newsletters that go out to a lot of people, I pay a freelance editor to do it, and he's absolutely amazing. But do I need him anymore when I've just been using uh, AI with Copilot to read it and yes for the grammar, but B are the better ways to say it, and I don't know. I mean that's just pure proofreading. It's gonna be tough, and I just think also entry level jobs. I mean I think about
Yeah.
this as someone who I was thinking about
That's
this.
where the discussion is, learn how to use AI.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's 25 years ago. I graduated college, and would I want to be an entry level person in this day and age doing the grunt work that you would do even younger as an intern and things like that? Why do we need you? And I don't
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
I
sure that's one of your
mean,
questions now when you hire people. You ask about AI, right?
oh,
What they do.
100%. Yeah. The big question that I've been talking to people about that I'm trying to like formulate, I haven't asked anyone that I've recruited or hired or
Mhm.
anything, but is the art of prompt writing. I think there's a book called that. I think that's a big thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
No, I mean, I think before, I mean, many, many years ago, like people didn't know how to put something in Google. It was like, think, how would you not know how to do it?
Yeah.
And it was just sort of the quaint old days, but the same thing too. How do you write it? And I think that's a little trial by, not by fire, by doing what's the right way to get what you want
Right.
out of it.
And
Yeah,
now
yeah.
people are training their AIs too, like
Oh, yeah,
giving
yeah.
them whole books of how to train like companies, really large companies. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be interesting, but no, I think it's exciting. It's scary. I mean, you're at the thick of things. I mean, that's what I've been saying before we got on. Like, I've been following your career now for many years and seeing continue to grow and grow and grow, and that's why I wanted you on. I mean, this was
I appreciate it.
more than I was even expecting. I was expecting a lot, Casey, and you and you more than lived up to that. I
Oh,
mean,
good.
this is
I'm
this
glad.
is no.
Yeah.
I mean, this is serious. This is what I've learned so much. It's one of those things I've learned so much, and now it's like, oh my god, it's trying to retain this stuff and okay, what do I learn next? Because I was trying to laugh this. Trying to take a simple class on Google AdWords. I'm sort of halfway through the hour thing. I haven't had time to go back and like learning all these things. Like that's the basic thing, which you're like whatever. But I can't mean it just even to get how do I buy keywords? And it's like yeah, and I'm just personally interested in it. It's not the future. It's the past, present, and
Yeah.
future. It seems like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think so much of like what I mentioned, the industry that I love about digital marketing. I mean, obviously there's different pockets, but
Right.
everyone really wants to help each other. It's a really cool community.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so
Because it's ever
I
changing, I guess,
recommend
right?
Slack channels. Yeah. Huh?
Because ever changing. It's not like you went to
Right,
school for
yeah.
SEO. I mean, and then
No.
probably they're really young. If they, I mean, I don't know what they do. They offer seriously like in marketing
They do at
classes.
most universities now,
Okay.
thankfully. I subbed or not subbed because I don't have degrees, but I've come in and spoken at a few classrooms,
Okay.
and most students don't know very much about SEO or AdWords. They're mostly learning, from what I can tell, social media, which is a real bummer because social media is great, but I wouldn't say it's where we're seeing real business being made online. It's mostly search. So I think like that's the only thing I want to help solve at some point. I don't know how I would help with that,
Interesting. Yeah.
but
Yeah. No.
yeah, it's a
That.
big focus on social. And I work in the digital world and I don't love social. I don't think it's great for people. It's pretty, it's not the greatest for your mental health.
Yeah.
So
I'm just
I'm
amazed
all
at
for
TikTok. I
it.
mean, the algorithm. I mean, you see why it's worth so much money. That wait, how did you know I would like that video that I've never even liked that subject at all? And it just, I
I
don't know. We
know.
could spend an
Stealing your data,
hour
that's
talking about
why.
that, but that's why they're raking it
Yeah,
in.
I know. It's like I'm like so on the fence about cookies. We have to navigate cookies so much because we're trying to track everything and a lot of people are clicking like no cookies when they're coming to a website and so they get
Yeah, I thought,
charged.
didn't Apple, wasn't there a big issue with that? They stopped tracking people? Was that
Yeah, that's been up and down. I don't know where it's at right now, but
okay? Because I was like, big, everyone's worried. Oh, what are we gonna do now? Because of Apple is not allowing this or whatever. Or
yeah, it's my understanding is all of that like regulatory stuff is very based on where you're located, and it's much more intense in Europe
okay,
than
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
U.S. is my understanding. But we're constantly talking to our clients about privacy, and like making sure they're set up for that before they do any advertising. Because yeah, I think that's where my head is at a lot with this with the social media and the AI stuff. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah, man.
all right, privacy just keeps
Yeah.
going.
I mean, I think, sort of end this, what's old is new. Like, who would have thought, they would still be saying, Google is the top one. Yes, we have all these other great technologies with Chat GPT, but Google is still Google. And I think the other thing, I mean, we could talk another hour about this, we won't, is that, e-newsletters are still so big. I mean, I pay for
Oh yeah, no, they're good.
e-newsletters
Yeah.
and companies do it like it was 5 years ago. It was like, okay, that's passe, it's old,
Well,
and
I
now
just think the
it's
theme is trust. It still goes back to trust. People trust Google and they trust the
yeah,
email. Yeah, it
and
makes a lot
and
of
both
sense.
have great measurement tools. So
100%.
I mean, for
Yeah.
your job, Casey, you prove your worth every time to your clients. I mean,
Yeah, and I
I
know.
mean, in essence, you live or die. Like, look, here's the conversion rate for this. Here's how many people clicked on it,
I
and
love
you could
data.
show, and you
Data's
can't,
retention.
make
Yeah.
up stuff. No, like we always joke public relations. How do we measure our worth? I mean, we're
Yeah.
just worth a lot, but I mean, when we could use flowery words to say it, but you truly, with yours SEO and the like, that you can say, look how much money you literally made because of the ROI, because of the search engine.
Yes.
So
It's the
no,
best.
so you know, Casey, I appreciate your time. Best of luck with the Mountain Laurel Digital, and
Thank you.
no, we'll definitely have to, keep in touch. We're joking how we know each other but don't know each other,
I
but
know.
no, now we know
No.
each other even more. No, this is great. I learned a lot. So yeah, I'd ask everyone, check out Mount Laurel Digital, and with us, like, rate, do everything, follow, and I'm looking forward to whatever the next episode is. Thank you, everybody.
Yay. Thanks, David.